So this is my end of school year video. I make one all the time. And you can actually see that the pie made my gray hair stand out. Or is that dog hair? I don't know. Anyway, this was an interesting school year. It started off at one place, ended up at another. Taught well over 150 kids this year between the two schools. Ended up getting a new place to live, and a lot's changed. I realize I've been teaching, if you include student teaching, since 2003, 16 years. And I added it all up. I have taught close to 2,200 kids, or individuals, I should say. 2,200 students. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I give the same advice every year. It's like, you guys are going to get older, and you think right now everything means the most to you, but it's not. There's a future. And you guys are going to have jobs that don't even exist yet, because that's what our future is going to be like. And it's going to be tough. This world is not what it used to be. Everybody says that. But the best part is you guys can change it. It's up to you. If you want to. If you want it to change. I grew up when there was the heavy metal 80s, the big hair band 80s, the beginning of hip hop and rap music. Things change. It's weird. I can actually say that a whole TV show, and this is my orange soda. I love orange soda. But when, I saw an entire TV show come and go. I don't think I can ever say that about something that I actually watched from beginning to end. But I don't think I would, it's tough right now. But I don't think I would change this year. I learned a lot. I recovered from the burnout, got rejuvenated, reignited, reinvigorated to be a teacher again. But at the same time, I kept worrying about the students I left behind. I worry about the imagined kids that I've known for 3 years, that I taught for 3 years. And I really hope they did well. I really do. I don't know what happened to this day. I have to move on. You can't live in the past. And the only thing I hope is that, other than math, some of you took away some life lessons, in the last 3 years that I gave you. And we'll be honest, not one teacher at that school can do what I did there in regards to that. Some people just see teaching for one thing, I see it for another. I never said I wanted to be a teacher because I like kids. Never said that. If you like kids, you should work at Chuck E. Cheese. You should open a babysitting company. Those are jobs if you like kids. If you're a teacher, it's because you want to bring out, if you are a teacher, it's because you want to educate. You want to drop knowledge on people. You want to make them better than what they are. Every job I've ever had, I became a trainer. That says something. But why teaching? I honestly believe that Florida needs a social studies curriculum, a government curriculum, a civics curriculum. Why? When I lived in New York, Florida politics was a joke. People made fun of it because of the screwed up vote and stuff like that. And I always, sorry, my dog's barking. And I always bring that up. It's just like, sorry, I'm chewing some ice. But people bring it up when that 2000 election happened with George Bush Jr. And, people made fun of the way, everything was going on. I see the way people and individuals interpret the laws down here. And it's like they almost feel like they have an open license to do whatever they want to do, and they feel like they can do whatever they want to do. They think that the freedom of speech is an absolute right. They think that the Second Amendment is an absolute right. And then they spew out these facts that, that have no bearings and no truths. And then they talk about, fake news. I don't know. This state has potential, and it's just got to turn itself around. And I look at my students, and that's why I'm a teacher, because the future is you. I'm done. My time has come and gone. Some adults hold on to the past. Like, you've seen these adults. They're either older than me or a little younger than me, but they still act like your age. But you guys can make a difference. You can pick up where we left off. I'm not one of these people that make fun of millennials or Xennials, whatever the new term is. I think they got it tougher than my generation ever had. And I really look forward to them making things better. That's why I'm a teacher. Because I see the future in our posterity. My son. I hope he can be the best that he can be. I'm trying to teach him empathy. That book I talked about, Unselfie, people need to pick it up. It's a great book. It really is. Unselfie. Just imagine that if we all just stopped making fun of everybody, picking on people. Some of the trends that people wear, they don't really know how it began. Like, for example, many years ago, there was the thing with the hat, that was so big and the flat brim. And, if you had one of those like truck driver meshes in the back, you were made fun of. But that trend happened because one person's mother bought them a hat, and it was the best that they can do. And with enough confidence, that kid wore that oversized hat over his ears and left the brim flat, and basically told everybody, look, you make fun of me, you're making fun of my mama, and I'm going to kick your butt. And then the trend caught on and showed up in videos and pop culture and everywhere. And it's making a comeback this year. That's what we need, is confident young individuals. Men, women, confidence. But why do we tear each other down? And it's sad because I see adults doing it. One school I worked at, I saw it down here. And behind the scenes, people, why do they do that? Instead of picking their coworkers up, why do people rip their coworkers down? I don't get it. I'm guilty of it. I did it with past jobs. I don't get it. And I just hope that my students are better than we are. And that's the best line from The Last Jedi. Students grow beyond what teachers could ever be. I'm just watching people riding by on a bike and my dog's barking. I challenge anyone this summer we talk about these challenges. I challenge somebody here to volunteer at a soup kitchen. I challenge somebody here to give away a pair of Jordans to a homeless person or a homeless kid. I challenge somebody to make a hot meal for somebody who doesn't eat hot meals. I challenge somebody to give away one of their prized possessions to somebody who has nothing. I challenge somebody here to maybe do the yard work for a senior citizen. I challenge somebody here who talks bad about police officers to befriend a cop. And I also challenge police officers here to befriend people on your beat. I challenge students to be nice to each other, to respect adults, but I also challenge them to tell the truth and don't be blind. Basically, I challenge everyone to be a good person. We all know right from wrong, right? We do, don't we? Then why don't we make the right decisions? I'm 40 and I'm still trying to do that. And it's not just because of my kid, it's because I'm a teacher and people are looking up to me. I never asked to be a role model. To quote Charles Barkley, the great basketball player, he did that commercial, I'm not a role model. The problem is with being a role model is it's not a choice. It just happens. My oldest students right now are in their mid to late 20s. My youngest students are in 5th grade. That is definitely one of the coolest bikes I think I've ever seen. Anyway, you know, and I don't know, it's going to be quite interesting to see just where things go in the future. You know, you never know. You know, my dad, I'll never forget my last day with him. It was at my uncle's funeral. And all my dad wanted to do was go to dinner. And I was so full of anger inside my heart at him, even though we went to my uncle's funeral because it was the right thing to do. I was mad at my dad for other things. And I'll never forget this. And it's been 7 years. Maybe 8. Yeah, 8 years. My dad died the day after my uncle's funeral. And all my dad wanted to do the night before was get dinner. And I said no. And his last meal was McDonald's. And I'll never forget, I was taken off of school the next day or work the next day to go to his house and clean it up for him. And I never forget, I slept late. What if I never slept late? You know? That's why I'm a teacher, because I don't want people to make the same mistakes I ever made growing up. I got bullied. I survived. But I wasn't always a saint in school. But I made amends. I don't want people to do what I did. So maybe I'm teaching math, ELA, social studies, or whatever. But deep down inside, I'm really hoping I'm teaching people to be a decent human being. Because everybody knows we're going to need it. The way things are going now in this world, we need more good people than bad people. And you know the bad people. Just don't be one. Think about it. Concentrate on you, what you want to do. It's never too late. It's never too early to think about what you want to do. Jack Kirby, who helped Stan Lee create some of the greatest comic book characters of all time, was 44 years old. 44. Created some of the best characters ever. He actually created a lot of DC characters too. You may have heard of one of them called Darkseid. Jack Kirby. Anyway, or he wrote them and wrote them good. Video's going on for 13 minutes. Just have a great summer. Everybody have a safe summer. Keep in touch if you need it. And the best advice I ever got from my dad that I do pass on is this. And my former students from Brentwood, Rocky Point, they know this. There's going to be a time in your life, now or in the future, you're going to need something. You're going to need someone there. Maybe the family isn't there. Maybe your friends aren't there. But us teachers will always be there. Even for the students that gave us a hard time. I always gave, the students I gave the hardest time to, it's probably because I saw something in you that I didn't want to go to waste. A lot of you are great people. Most of you are going to go on to great things. And a few of you are going to change the world. But if there's anything anyone ever needs, a hot meal, blankets, clothes, I can do the best I can to help. There's one student of mine from Cocoa. She's 23 now, I think, and she has a kid. I spent $200 on baby clothes for her because she didn't have any. So I gave it to her, sent it up to her place in Tennessee. That's what teachers should do. Not just teach one subject, but teach for the rest of their lives. 15 minutes. I gotta go. Gonna watch some wrestling I missed last night. Thank you guys at Imagine for that. By bringing back my love of wrestling, you gave me and my son something that we're gonna share for the rest of our lives. Thank you for that. And thank you, students of Odyssey. You made me realize that deep down inside, I had a passion for teaching, and it'll never go away. Have a good day, everybody.